join us once again. It's your boy John and boy Virgil. We here again. It's not the international break, which means no real entertaining
real
football.
content.
For about 2 weeks, but we're back here again. This weekend was the FA Cup in England. There were only 5 Premier League matches this weekend, only 2 of the big 6 involved. But given the amount of football it was this weekend, we actually would spend some time on the smaller teams. And very slightly, we'll touch on some of the FA Cup fixtures just because it involved some of the big 6 members. So we get right into it. We'll start off with Liverpool. Liverpool visited Fulham. The Cottagers fell short 2-1 to the Reds. Liverpool win through a penalty by James Milner. They had a little scare in the game where Van Dijk header was just short of reaching Alisson, and former Liverpool player Ryan Babel scored. And there was for a very small moment a glimmer of hope for Scott Parker's man, but after an error by Rico, Fulham's keeper, that was it.
Well, look at Liverpool game. From the only really takeaway I see from that, because look at that from a Liverpool point of view, like rather than ESPN-FC, Steve Nicola talk about how that performance of him being a Liverpool fan, from that performance from Liverpool is like an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Or like nothing that way, but how a performance like that is a disaster in the hunt for the title, because look at that opportunity like that. That's something where Liverpool should capitalize on, like undoubtedly that okay, we could get our 3 points and push us back to first. But looking at that from everything, because for just watching the first half and then after watching the highlights after, really, Liverpool, to me, I didn't really find Liverpool was playing that bad. It's just that stuff. It's just that the chances they were unlucky. And this is a case where the smaller team, okay, international break coming up, okay, time to bring out the big guns. These are like now those games where the smaller team will play mediocre football against one of the side on their level, like a lower table side, but the big boys come around. It's just all guns blazing. That's exactly what it was, and that's something to look at Liverpool. I know the goal that they scored was a defensive error from Van Dijk, and looking at that before, people would think that okay, if Liverpool right now the pressure starting to get to Liverpool, where okay, we've getting further into this competition, we have to exert a lot of energy to beat Bayern. So Liverpool and the lack of depth, if it's starting to show now Liverpool, which could actually a good case to the lack of depth could actually prove a little problem for Liverpool going along in title race. But as in moments like that, in games like that, you need a little luck moments like that to happen. So it's a fair credit to Liverpool that they still in the title race and they're still pushing for that first place.
Yeah, and this somebody on one of the podcasts I listened to said why they didn't let Salah take the penalty, because like he's going through his own little drought right now. It's been a little while since Salah scored. And the irony is that Sadio Mane has hit scorching form.
Yeah.
I believe it's 8 games in a row he scored now. And you look at it and you think, okay, you can give him the penalty, but as we saw when Aubameyang missed his penalty against Spurs, sometimes when a player doesn't have confidence, yes, this is an easier chance just looking at it to score from the spot. But in high pressure moments where every point counts, especially at the business end of the season, you can't just say, okay, we'll just give him a minute, he'll score and he'll get back. And sure, if he scores, he gets back some confidence, but if he isn't confident in what he's doing, you don't know if he'll score.
And Jurgen Klopp seems like a traditional manager as an okay, I have a certain taker. I don't really care about okay who in form, who playing good today. My set penalty taker is James Milner.
Yeah.
So I have more confidence in him myself. But just touch on the Sadio Mane, it's just that at this point we could look at comparing Salah and Mane and be like, okay, Salah already stepping up. But it's just that after a season where Salah had, maybe unbiased, that season that Salah had, most of the Premier League defenders will study him in depth. It's just that now is the season that Man is stepping up.
Yeah.
And Fair play to him.
Another man who was at the centre of attention, mostly because of the mistake he made, was Virgil van Dijk. And after the game, he did a post-match press conference with James Milner, and he was asked what he thought about his mistake, if he was feeling a sense of relief. And I paraphrasing here, and he just said, now it's all cool, I make a mistake, but it happens. And they were also kind of getting to ask, maybe Alisson should have come up faster. He's like, no, the mistake is on me. I should have had it better back to Alisson, whatever. James Milner even jumped in trying to say that he should have passed the ball back better to him. And after a week where I think Van Dijk had a colossal performance against Bayern, a really good pass for the assist to Mane, a thundering header to put them 2-1 ahead of the tie, and an all-round good game. And being the all-round good player he has been this season, there will come a point where he'll make a mistake. And just like how we were now speaking about Salah's score and drought, what you hope is that when your star players aren't at 100%, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but when they make these mistakes, what you hope for is that they don't cost you, and that there are other players there ready to take up the slack. Everybody looks at this Liverpool team, and if you ask somebody off the top of their head, especially before this season, who's the number one scoring threat, you'd say Salah. And right now he's on a couple of games where I believe in the last 8 game weeks he had 1 goal, 1 assist in the Premier League, and you would think now that they would suffer from that. But in that time, Firmino has rediscovered some of his form, and Sadio Mane has his scorching form, actually pushed himself into the title race, I believe with 15 goals. I'll check about this now. And that's what you want from these teams when they fight for every point. And that's why we always speak about squad depth, which is funnily enough so odd why Xherdan Shaqiri is actually being used very sparingly now. And somebody was like, did Xherdan Shaqiri run over Klopp's dog? Because since the end of the year, he hasn't been getting a good shout in, bringing on Adam Lallana, who has been relatively ineffective, bringing on Sturridge, and it was actually really odd. But moving it along, we have Chelsea visiting Everton. At the end of the season, we will do, an episode taking some more things like surprise packet, biggest disappointment or whatever. But I feel like if after this season, I know Everton always has a high grade each season that this might be the year that they break into the top 6. But I feel like this season had such a disappointment around Everton. They got the manager, they got all the attacking players. Like, they have better wingers than Arsenal. I would say that. Most because they have, actual wingers. And they always flatter to deceive. And in this game, Chelsea were well on top of them in the first half. Hazard hitting the post. And when they were going into the half, it felt like, okay, it's just for Chelsea to just add a little bit more edge to them. And boom, they have them. And halftime went in, Marco Silva had his team tough, Sarri had his team tough. And when he came back out, Everton were a different outfit. Everton pressed a little higher, forced Chelsea back a little bit more, and then pushed them to the point where they took their chances. A little scuffle in the box resulted in Richarlison's goal. Marcos Alonso, who had actually a really good outing in the Europa League this week, gave away a penalty. And, this Chelsea team really looks like when they should be hitting a decent stride of form, because the top 4 is there for the taking, and this was their game in hand. They just fall below the line again. And I just want to know, what was your thinking about this whole thing?
Looking at the scoreline, it would be like, okay, typical Chelsea, but I felt like Chelsea was a little hard done from this game.
Because they played well.
Because they played well leading up to the first half and everything. Just unlucky that well. Pickford is one of those keepers that could have a game of his career and then next minute making mistake like not too long ago. But looking at with this game for Chelsea, it's just that we know Sarri, Chelsea know what they're fighting for. They're fighting for the top 4. and Sarri probably had his message along in the dressing room. It's just that when Everton came on, Everton just had that little nick over them. And the only issue with that you could probably point over the Chelsea side is when that goal happened, it's like okay, here we go again. It's the mentality of the Chelsea players, with a result like that. Okay, going down, it's like at a brief moment you'll think that okay, the head drop forward, but they were still trying to fight. It's just that they were unlucky in it, but I just feel like after a while Chelsea they just felt like alright.
No, and that's the thing in the Virgil. I actually 100% agree with you. And I actually think that these Chelsea players' mentality is very soft. And, Chelsea fans would hate or whatever. But other than Hazard, nobody you really felt stood up in that game and tried to fight after they went down, And Chelsea, not just Chelsea, Roman Abramovich has operated this club in such a way that has brought a lot of success. Man, just don't really tend to last 1 or 2, 3 years at that club. Because as soon as there's some feeling, cut next manager in, and we go again. And it has brought a whole ton of success. We look at the last 10 years, they have won the Premier Leagues, they've won the FA Cup, they've won their first ever Champions League, they won even the Carling Cup, and it has brought them success, right? But the side effect of having a club run like that is that the players now would think, okay, this is not working out, then we don't necessarily have to try. All the blame, just like it has gone with the last 5 to 10 to how many managers, would go to them. And just like Sarri is constantly in the hot seat because of his tactics and whatever, if these players don't buy into it, it doesn't matter. Because these players won't pay the price. It would be Sarri. And worse yet, with the transfer ban looming and the word coming out so far from UEFA and from FIFA is that they aren't planning to lift the ban, then Chelsea might be more inclined to think, okay, maybe we should get rid of Sarri and bring in a manager who is more capable of getting more to these players.
And that tough thing, because like looking around with Chelsea, like in the Chelsea camp, where Chelsea could look, because everything seemed like to them felt like everything going against them. Because after every bad result, most players, like when Emerson came out in an interview and said that how he and all, they don't know what's going on with the Hazard situation. They would like Hazard to stay, but Hazard and all, you don't know what's going on with your star player.
Right.
The way how things looking, and a new head coach, appealing head coach is Zidane coming at Madrid. You'll think that okay, things more likely for him to leave. And look at Sarri. Even if Chelsea was to pull the plug on Sarri and kick him out, what manager might line up to be like, okay, I can come and take over here, but I have to take over these players that I have here, and I can't ever bring in no players. And even looking at the players, even players seeing all this too, they're just like, because most of it is the same core that was there for the title winning season.
And that's the funny thing, these players, for the majority, have been there and have had the mentality to get past hurdles to win the league. But I feel like unless there is an all-wrong sense in the dressing room that we are on our way to achieve something, then the fight just isn't there for them.
Because you look at the core players, everybody there just like, if it's not Hazard, who you might think playing for a move, his motivation. Nobody playing for the manager. Hazard might be playing for a move. Higuain just playing because okay, he new to the team, so he will try to give us all to win over the fans. Right now, I just feel like for Chelsea, the most that I don't know if the players will want to focus on, or Chelsea might at a point give up on the league. I just feel like Chelsea's best bet right now is just focus on Europa League.
And not to stick on them too long, Higuain has now only scored once in the league, in one game, twice in the league, against Huddersfield. And the irony is that if we just look over to Italy, where Higuain's replacement at AC is Piatek, even though he didn't score this weekend in the Milan derby, you have to wonder why didn't Chelsea just go for him in the first place, because he is younger, his potential looks sky high right now, and clearly, he seemed the better player even then, Higuain only managed 6 goals, albeit in a very service-starved AC Milan side. But Piatek if you look at a lot of Piatek goals, he turns a lot of half chances into goals. And Higuain is feeding off of half chances right now and can't score. So because, again, the Premier League only had 5 games this weekend, we'll actually look at some of the lower league games. West Ham and Huddersfield fought out a 4-3 game in one of the more entertaining games in the league this year. Huddersfield have been known to be the side with the least amount of goals scored, went into halftime 2-1, after Mark Noble put West Ham ahead after a penalty. Junior Bakuna and Carl Grant had them 2-1 up at halftime before Carl Grant again scored, put them 3-1 up, and then Manuel Pellegrini saw, the need for a little bit more tactical shift. Chicharito and Nasri were introduced slightly before the third goal, and before in the last 15 minutes of the game, West Ham scored 3 goals, twice for the super sub Chicharito. And it's like, to think you scored 3 goals away from home, you should think that is enough.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing just went well for Huddersfield this year. And we talked about luck last week. It's just, and I mean, it's just really unlucky, but it was definitely a good game. This West Ham side again was another one that flattered the DC for years, and I feel like, unlike Everton, I actually feel like West Ham was headed in a better direction. Declan Rice is one of the more prominent midfield potentials in the Premier League. They have a really good attack right now between Nasri, Arnautovic, Felipe Anderson, Chicharito coming off the bench, Mikel Antonio, and they, in my opinion, probably have a better chance of being in European football, not necessarily this season, but next season. And under the guidance of Manuel Pellegrini, I think that they are heading in the right way.
Yeah, once it'll be hard for them to keep the players, obviously, and probably just recruit more players, like see how the brought in the Felipe Anderson. Most of see these players as okay, these are rejects, these are players that once big clubs was looking for them. These type of players, and I think he's injured right now. Yarmolenko.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those players that West Ham can need, like if they had to push for like a European football. But this game, with the absence, these are the big games. This game felt like alright, nice. This was a traditional Premier League game. This is nice. It's good to see that West Ham. A good performance for West Ham all around. Because I know that a manager like Pellegrini, the whole game changed when he introduced Nasri and Chicharito. But
Nasri actually finished the game with 100% passing accuracy. Mm-hmm. I know, like, how a lot of people, even a lot of Arsenal fans, have a lot of resentment towards players like Nasri and Van Persie. I never was, at least I can't say I never was, but I'm not that person. Like, I watch Nasri play and I'm like, damn, this man is real good.
Mm-hmm.
And since he's actually got to West Ham, his debut game was actually against Arsenal. He looked really good then. And, we look at the summary that came out of this game, and Huddersfield, and something that came out of Huddersfield season so far this year was that, they weren't aggressive enough on the ball, which is why they were conceding so much chances. And the irony is that they pressed more against West Ham in this game, which actually led to West Ham scoring so much. And the irony is that they try, it don't work. They don't try, it don't work.
And the defending from both sides was poor, which obviously in result. But you could see from watching that game, Huddersfield downfall was okay. West Ham threatened us with most of the crosses that have been whipped into the box. When players like Diop get into the box, okay, a lot of men rush into the bigger players. And just so happened that the ball felt like one of the smallest men on the pitch. And what Chicharito is a proven veteran to know that, okay, you can't afford him to be on market in the box.
And just something before we move on to the Newcastle game, we are seeing a little trend now where managers who are associated with bigger clubs before going on to these smaller teams in the Premier League, and it's showing that how the tactics and the thought process that are going into these smaller teams now are getting a little bit more intricate and getting a little bit more higher level.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see it better in not just necessarily just the football that's being played, but in the way that results are coming out. And on that note, we go across the Rafa Benitez, you know, another manager, again associated with higher clubs. And you imagine Newcastle now, and ever since Miguel Almiron has arrived at Tyneside, you know, it has been a revelation. Finishing 2-2 between Bournemouth and Newcastle. Joshua King at the double. Solomon Rondon, Newcastle's top scorer, opening his scorer before Matt Ritchie in the dying moments of the game equalised. And you know, this was a game where against a more stodgy manager in Rafa Benitez versus the all-out attacking manager in Eddie Howe. And you know, Eddie Howe is an English manager that has been touted for a bigger job for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that he does deserve one, but I just don't see him getting it, at least in the Premier League right now.
Sure. Eddie Howe looked like he born and bred to manage Bournemouth for the rest of his career.
The problem with Bournemouth is just that, you know, they everything about Bournemouth, without being disrespectful, is so small, you know. And I mean that in the sense that their budget is so small, and for them to recruit players of a certain caliber is sort of hard. But then you look at the football they play. Callum Wilson having one of the best seasons. Ryan Fraser is up there with most assists for the league. Joshua King having another great season, becoming the second highest Norwegian this weekend in the Premier League. And you know, before probably November, if you had asked me the three teams to go down, I would have said Newcastle might have been around one of them. They along with Cardiff have hit such a great run of form and look like they should be amongst the ones to stay up. The last one for this weekend was Burnley versus Leicester. Burnley lost 2-1. Burnley actually look like they might be amongst the teams to go down. After the game, Jamie Vardy came out and was talking, not just after this game, but again after the 3-1 last week as well, saying that, you know, he really likes life under Roy Hodgson. He didn't score in this game, but he said that the football that they are playing now is a lot more suited to not just his style, but the style that you want to see from a team of Leicester's level. And you know, when you say things like that, you know, you have to wonder what is Leicester's level still. You know, Leicester still, you know, what we are 3 years now on from their Premier League winning season. You're still not sure where they are supposed to be. I mean, you kind of assume that given the players that they have, they should be around the Europa League level.
Yeah, sure.
The man we talked about last week with most chances created in Europe's top 5 league, Gilles Madsen scored. Captain Wes Morgan scored the winner in the end. And Sean Dyche's man just really not looking up to this year, and they are hovering very close to the drought.
That's true. Well, the more the weeks progress, for me, I just feel like VAR next season is going to be very interesting, because in that game they had a penalty incident that went against Burnley. There was no pen. Also a handball for Wes Morgan. No handball, which coincidentally he ended up scoring the winner a couple minutes later. It was just unlucky for Burnley, but looking at that, certain players stepped up and had a really good game. James Maddison, he is one for sure. He had a top game, and as you say, this is another example of looking at managers who used to manage bigger clubs. Come up with Brendan Rodgers doing what you have to do with Leicester. It just seemed like, okay, now this Leicester side, you don't know if he could take that Leicester side to the next level, because from that game, that Leicester side just looked perfect all around. They look Wes Morgan, when he introduced Wes Morgan, was dealing with this Wes Morgan that we know from the title winning season. He dealt with everything. He had kind of Van Dijk's moment. It's just that looking at that, the main thing for Leicester, it'll be like, what's next for Leicester? And
you know, it should be noted that, you know, Brendan Rodgers gave up winning a treble, a domestic treble, but a treble with Celtics to manage Leicester. I guess that makes you question, you know, how big is the Scottish League compared to how big a mid-table Premier League team is?
Yeah, and we know Celtic, they obviously are the champions in football too.
So really quickly, we're gonna talk about the FA Cup. Manchester United lost as they visited the Wolves. I tweeted after the game, Wolves exposed exactly what PSG first exposed in the first leg of the Champions League game. When you stifle Pogba, you stifle all the creativity in this United side,
That's true.
When you look at this United team, other than players that are quick and could dribble, there isn't anybody who can really create with respect to passing and making chances for other people other than Pogba. And with them Docker in the midfield, they did a really good job on stifling Pogba, and even a low block in the defense that there wasn't much space to get in behind. Excuse. And when Lukaku came off injured, that just kind of killed all the chances for United as a way to score, And was pressed. I credit to Nuno. Was pressed on some of United's weaknesses. We look at how they targeted Matic. Matic has been a stalwart in the Premier League for some time now, but going up into the more peak or the latter years of his career now, he's lacking that little touch of pace and that turn and awareness, and a lot of the attacks were driven through Matic, and he was kind of caught out for the first goal, and the second goal was just I think a beauty from Jota as he ran through from their own half to score. And 2 losses in the same week for United, and there's a big confidence job on the desk of Organ and Solskjaer.
Yeah, because this is a good opportunity for them to go on and push for actual silverware in the FA Cup. But can't take away the good performance from Wolves. There's a very big loss for United coming off there. This would have been a good response to the loss against Arsenal, but Wolves. I just say when you mentioned the stifling Pogba because clearly from that game, Wolves was the far more creative side. That was the downfall. And for looking at the Wolves team, they didn't really know who to stop. Well, who to target to stop the creativity. Because Moutinho had a good game. Raul Jimenez and Jota, them 2 of them alone could make something out of nothing just between both of them. And the Jota goal, people could say a little hard done because clearance from Luke Shaw and back in,
but still the ability to run and keep the ball like that.
That is scary thing about the Wolves. Wolves have energy, creativity, the concentration in defense.
None of the big 6 have managed to go to the Molineux yet, which is our stadium, and win. Just real quickly before we touch on the City game, Little Love got a red card and has been definitely the standout defender for United, especially on the Organ. But even at the end of Jose Mourinho's tenure, he will miss Watford's trip to Old Trafford, along with West Ham's trip to Old Trafford, and another trip for United to the Molineux in the Premier League. And you have to wonder how big of a miss that could be for them. Man City came back from 2-0 down, thanks to VAR not being there against Swansea City. What is really bad on the FA in this was that VAR has been used in the Premier League, but only in the FA Cup, but only been used in the Premier League stadiums. And because this was at Swansea's ground in Wales, there was no VAR. A very dubious penalty was awarded to Man City, along with our offside goal was allowed. And the big sides make their own luck, I guess. But Swansea would definitely feel hard done by after playing really well. Scored a fantastic goal by Selena, who was a former Man City player. At the end of the day, VAR was there. Some of those stuff wouldn't be allowed. And I mean, this was a really funny thing. As soon as Aguero came on, had a really good game. He got an assist, got a goal. But yes, the luck was just totally against Swansea in this game. Aguero's penalty hit the post, and you think, okay, coming back out, rebounds off the keeper and goes in. again, the double shots penalty, offside goal, and it's just tough for the Swans.
Yeah, that'll be very hard done, well, especially given the chance of how Man City draw Brighton, which would have been a good shot, a good shot for Swansea if they was in that position.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was left confusing from fans all around because the FA would introduce VAR in the Premier League stages, and a team like Swansea that has been in the Prem.
Yeah.
I known stadium. That was very surprising that they didn't put the VAR for this game, and this was clearly seen that if VAR was there, stuff would have been different. Who knows? I could be a little biased and probably say City would have probably still try and create the lockout or something else. But still, just looking at whether not you wanna argue and be like, okay, maybe City could deal with the attack and the depth City had on the field that day. Chances could have come from any other thing, but the fact that those chances stood. It's just looking at the whole VAR situation. You just can't wait for VAR to come, because look at on the other hand, if any other game happen, like stuff like that happen, those are the moments where it can make a break. And it was not league, it was a cup.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, a cup supposed to have VAR into it. But the FA needs to the rest of the FA Cup.
VAR is really needed in England, you know. It's always talked about the started of officiating in the Premier League, but for Pep, the quadruple is still on.
It would be amazing if it happened, because right now chances of winning the FA Cup is high now.
Yeah, given what the opposition.
Chances of we shouldn't find the Champions League, some may say high. Well, the league right now still.
Yeah, I thought they draw one of them small teams.
Yeah, one of them
anyways,
the mid-table English teams.
So real quick, cause we run out of time. Trivia talk. So, Ryan Babel scored against Liverpool this weekend here. Ryan Babel is the first player to score for and against Liverpool in the Premier League since blank in April of 2017. First player to score for and against them. Hint, the last player to do this in April 2017 is still in the Premier League, and is Belgian.
Talk about against Liverpool?
Score for and against Liverpool.
For and against Liverpool.
He's still in the Premier League and he's Belgian.
Benteke.
Hey, well done. Next.
Benteke was so good.
Oh yeah, he does score. Sadio Mane has scored 17 goals in the Premier League this season, overtaken blank as the Senegalese player with the most goals in a single campaign, which was 16 in 2011-2012. Who is that player?
Papi Cisse?
Nah, we're close. If you're close.
What? Ba?
Yeah, Demba Ba. Well done. And let me get real quick, goal of the weekend.
My goal of the weekend, I had to say Huddersfield, third goal, Colin Grant.
Yeah.
That goal, top corner.
Because we allowed the FA Cup in the conversation this weekend, I am going to say that my goal came from the FA Cup, which was Salina's second against Man City. It was a really, really good move on that if Man City has got Pep would have been totally proud of and would have been circulating all over the Twitter net.
Yeah, I'm still yet to see that goal, but people say, well, Salina being a former player under Pep, people say, yeah, he did Pep proud.
So thanks guys for joining us. We will have our Champions League pod out for you guys next week. And as always, follow us everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Catch you guys in the next episode. Take it easy.
With this liquid, I'll wash away all the stains that left remains. Wash the pain away with waves. I reminisce on all the days that used to rain. The sun is never set to stay. All the water already drained, and all the stones we carved and craved. I never thought that they would wear away. I never thought that thoughts could change. Here comes your teddy bear to save you from these nightmares. Hold me tight, yeah. Don't be scared, boy, I'm right here. But nightmares all your dreams start taking shape. Please don't forget me, your bedtime bestie. I'm ready for any, except when memories fade.
So it's just me by myself. It's just me to light the fire, now you're left. These days nobody on their mission, nobody seen the vision. It's like if you ain't poppin', they go missing. It's why I'd rather pass the test and pack the tech. This for my brothers passing checks. Ain't got time for niggas passionless. Don't do no dope cause this music is higher. It bring me higher, higher. Shit is so fire, no need for lighters. Just tryna keep my distance away from liars. Focused and all, I done slipped so many times. Each step that I take, I be ready for the fall. Oh no, to change the course the river broke. It's predictable, I know the flow. So with each step I take and every breath I make, I will embrace the change that comes across on my staircase. Oh,
don't you know we gotta change? You gotta hush up these things. Don't you know we gotta change? Don't you know we gotta change? You gotta hush up these things. Yeah, it brings me higher and higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, they say change is constant. So when she laughed, a smile could turn into sadness. While stopped time with a photograph. And never ever change your death. When I lost my breath, then I died again. The last time someone said my last name. I guess that's why they say that Jesus never died. I wish I led the ages to the Old Testament in times like change a reason why. There was a lust of fate, love turned into hate. You destroy and you don't create. Huh. You ever wonder? It's not the stranger, but it's funny how the ones you love is the people who deceive you. Like she all grown up now, my daughter don't need her. Now that's what you call what's I got to an unbeliever. But don't fear change of life's random pendulum, cause we gon' predict the outcome of this chaotic motion. Like change from shit rap to deep rap. Don't fly that my shit. Might understand me but you like me, or Gangnam style shit.
All the things that you promised with your eyes, I see in yours too. Now your eyes are red from crying. Oh,